This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
FM 89.9 KMOJ, no doubt about it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Walter Q. Banks Jr. got you. And letting you know we're finna lock in with Little Moments Count and giving you a little bit about Little Moments Count. Little Moments Count, it's a statewide collaborative focusing on helping parents and caregivers learn about the importance about the brain development of the youngsters' lives for 3 years of their life within itself. But then even beyond that, nearly 80% of the brain growth happens in the first 1,000 days of a small person's life. But then on top of that, it helps them with the thing on touching and feeling and reading and singing and all those mechanical things that comes with the body when it grows and it matures within itself. And if you like more about Little Moments Count, you can lock in at littlemomentscount.org. And on the phone line, I got none other than Dr. Artika Tyner.
Yes, the first thing that I would have to share is I'm from the Rondo community, so born and raised here in the Twin Cities metro. So that means related to my work, the heart of my work happens right in St. Paul and Minneapolis, in helping to inspire our young people to live out their dreams related to education, related to their future career, and build the type of communities where our young people can learn, grow, and thrive.
So for the listening audience, Can you give us some insight when it comes to Planting People Growing Justice and the book and the new release? Because there's a lot to it, and there's a couple of books that you got beyond the other books that you also have as well.
I'm honored to introduce everyone to Planting People Growing Justice. We're a local literacy nonprofit that's focused on inspiring our young people, not just to read, but to also lead. And today I have good news. In honor of Women's History Month, we have a book written by a local author. Sister Wisdom wrote the book entitled She Before Me. And what I love about this book, especially for our young readers, it's an opportunity to learn about those pioneering Black women who have helped to shape the world. She takes us from history and culture, from Nefertiti to our early queens to today, to give us an opportunity to reclaim our space and time to know the power of Black women when we come together to shape our communities and build a better world. That's where change happens. So in honor of Women's History Month for the month of March, I am happy to announce the release of a book entitled She Before Me by award-winning author, poet, local community activist, Wisdom Mawalsi. This is an opportunity to honor our own, give her flowers for the work that she's done to help inspire our children. But if that's not enough, we have another book. The other book is R is for Rondo, to introduce Rondo history and culture, to give our young people a glimpse of what Black excellence truly looks like when we come together to build community, to build our local economy, and even to build our own self-confidence, to say that we can build a strong and vibrant community. So 2 books, hot off the press, perfect for family reading time.
So now when it comes to books themselves and the importance of reading, what would you say to someone that's out there who's a caregiver or someone who's out there that's looking out for the youngsters and the youth when it comes to the educational side and reading those books and making sure that it happens?
I would invite you. I would consider you one of our first educators. Oftentimes when I talk in the community about the power in education, we think the first educator is the kindergarten teacher. No, the first educator is you and I. There are learning moments wherever we are each day. Every time we have a chance to engage with a young person, a young child, we're helping them to grow. We're helping them to learn. We're helping them become the type of leaders we need in the world. So if we're thinking about what education can look like, let's stop making it so difficult. Let's really focus that education is happening in every moment. When we're reading those books, we're helping to introduce new vocabulary. When we're reading those books, we're learning about those heroes and sheroes from our community who have made a difference. Let's take a moment. Let's make it a tradition. Let's transform our culture and do a daily story time within every household. And we'll be amazed if we just read one book per day, That's 365 books, of course, but that's thousands of words that we're introducing to our children and hundreds of stories and inspiration for them to dream big and achieve those dreams as well.
So now when we talk about books themselves and some of the things that you've done and being a part of, well, let's line it a little bit into the historical side of history within itself, because you talked about a young lady named Wisdom who's right here in the Twin Cities. But then speaking on She Before Me, speak a little bit about history and how important our history and to honor each other should exist compared to some of the times we see other people trying to say that our history doesn't exist.
Our history exists each and every day. Our history is in everything that we do. If we're thinking about the Black inventors and creators, we wouldn't have blood banks without them. We wouldn't have a traffic light without them. So if we're thinking about that piece of innovation alone, if we look at American history, African Americans have been at the very foundation of innovation and creativity. If we're looking at the everyday heroes and sheroes that helped to organize our civil rights movement, helped to create change in meaningful ways, to know their names and to know their history. For instance, Reverend Jesse Jackson, we know that he boldly proclaimed, "I am somebody." But do we also know that he helped to lead a movement called Operation Breadbasket to make sure that we weren't shopping, we weren't eating, and we weren't customers at places that did not ensure and respect our humanity and dignity? What does that really mean? That he was at the forefront of helping to bring forth change in our communities. So the books are an invitation to learn about those change makers and give us the strength and power to know we are more than Black History is a month in February or Women's History during the month of March. 365 days we can honor the Black heroes and sheroes who have gone before us to help pave a way for us today. And I'll leave you with this quote from Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, the first female head of state, president of the country of Liberia in West Africa. She said, if our dreams are not big enough to scare us, they're not big enough. So books are an invitation to dream big, to say my ancestors did this, so I can do even more. So let's dream through books, but let's also take action day by day.
And if someone's trying to get in contact with you or find out more about you, how can they do so? And then even before that, when we're talking about planting people, growing justice, what are some of the things that you got coming around the corner that we need to know about?
To get in contact with us, you can find us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just look up Planting People, Growing Justice. You can also find me on my website, which is my name, artikatyner.com. But also meet us in person every first Saturday. So April 4th is coming up. You can join us at Leaders or Readers. It's held at the Jimmy Lee Rec Center, 1063 Iglehart, in the heart of our Rondo community. And you can come. It's an opportunity to meet an author. It's an opportunity to gather literacy resources, have lunch, participate in a book giveaway. It's really about helping young people discover joy in reading. Everyone's welcome, free of charge, a celebration of history and culture. Please join us.
No doubt, no doubt. I want to say thank you very much for the time and the opportunity and the rendering of your voice as well to the listening audience.
Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate you and happy reading.
No doubt, no doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, none other than Dr. Artika Tyner. And if you like more information or you like more about the show within itself, you can always lock in at littlemomentscount.org. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.